Alright, I've dumped my attempts into my demon spreadsheet, which is a link in the bottom of this video, in the description of this video. I would actually rate this an insane demon, that's the point here. Nothing in this level feels like an extreme demon, except maybe freaking Terran's Wave, which I fluked, thank God. But it is extremely hard despite that. A lot of that is length. It's probably a solid 2 minutes long. Not like any of these like 1 minute insane demons that are fairly common now. Definitely deserves a like and a freaking half. Insane demon. And now to go through the parts of the level and show you some gameplay tricks. Alright, first part is Dudex. This part is not very difficult, as I'm not making it clear because I'm trying to talk. And it has a neat trick in it coming up. That. You don't have to click that purple and black orb, but I'm extremely used to it from all the attempts I've put into this level. Dudex's part has some pretty nice deco and actually done very well orb spam gameplay. Like it isn't bad even though it's orb spam. It's like it's still good gameplay, very enjoyable. Fairly simple part of the level. Not the best, but still good. Next is Serpunge. Now this part actually deserves some explanation. I still don't really know what goes on with the gameplay here. It's crazy duels. I love it. I love crazy duels. They're my favorite. This part is no exception. I'll just show you what I do, but I have no clue what was meant to be the right way to do it or even anything like that. So I click and then click instantly on the first blue orb and then hold to jump over this set of spikes up at the top here. Like that. And then I click late with looking at this bottom cube at that platform. I click late and then click that next blue orb as early as possible and then hold until this cube jumps on the bottom here, but you have to let go before the second cube hits that platform right there. Like that. And next, I just jump, hit the yellow, and hit the blue. First blue. Oops. And I don't hit that second blue, which is why I know that I'm doing it wrong. Which is pretty interesting. Next, I'm gonna jump right here. I think. I don't even know. Yes, jump right there. And then I jump on each of those platforms, hold over this platform that's on the very left here, and then hit that yellow orb. Like that. And then hold tap instantly on each of these dash orbs. So jump and then tap instantly until you get to the very top, then drop, then jump and tap instantly again. That's really the easiest way to do this. And then, oh my god, I did the thing. If you hold too long, it kills you like that, which is really interesting. So you want to switch as fast as you possibly can between those dash orbs, which makes sense. Ugh, bad start position, or bad checkpoint. This part is actually fairly difficult without the music. Alright, there we go. That's a good checkpoint. So, Serpunge's part, I would say, has the coolest gameplay, though not the most fun, and probably also the coolest deco, using the backgrounds with rotation triggers, which was fairly new. This came out very early in 2.1. Next is Manix. Manix, as always, made an absolutely astounding part decoration-wise. I would say, yeah, just like pure deco-wise, Manix is my favorite part. but also, as always, Mannix's gameplay isn't that good. It's still enjoyable, though, so at least that. I'm just going to rush through that because there's nothing special here. Oh, also, I guess, in that spider, you can tap evenly. Like that. And here, you want to tap as soon as you see yourself land, but not hold. And then tap those two orbs as fast as possible. Hold into the UFO. And then do a long jump, almost as long as you possibly can with the robot, then a short jump, and tap those really fast into that dash orb. Alright, this is Black's part coming up, which is really annoying. That's, checkpoint should be good. Black has the most annoying deco, the most annoying gameplay, I would say. The deco is fairly meh, still not bad. Almost everything in this level is really done well. You want to hold, as soon as you get into this ship, click, and then click again when you turn into the right side up ship, and then this way, I can't even really explain it. You'll have to figure this one out yourself. Sorry, boys. The one thing to note is that the top here, even though it doesn't explicitly have anything that looks like it would kill you, does kill you. Alright, there. You click while this cube is in the air between falling off that ramp. I actually somehow did it without really noticing it. It's a good timing, though. It's actually a good timing. Then this next part, I used to think was impossible to get consistent at because I just spammed through it. You can't spam through it if you want to get consistent at it. You want to do a double click and then a triple click. So you jump once on this platform down here, then hold down on this blue orb behind here, which makes you jump there, and then you triple click as fast as possible to hit these next three orbs, and then you hold again off the final blue orb to make the final jump of this spam part. Ugh. Like so. Nothing special in here until you get here. I do like the style of the deco in Black's part, it's just not done exceptionally well. It kind of is like 1.9 and earlier-ish, but with 2.0 effects, which is really nice. And that's something that many 2.1 creators added onto later in the update. Here, most people know about this trick. You just fall off the edge of the platform and you can hit these two orbs as soon as you can. And you hit this platform, and then you roll off and then click this blue orb late to get over these spikes and get into the ship. That is actually not the intended path, but it's much easier than the intended path. Like so, and then just a straight fly. Then most people, oh, whoops. Hold on. Alright, I'm back up to Rustum's part. Right here, I tap twice evenly. Some people go down further and then tap 3 times. It works either way. And then, this is the interesting part. In order to do this ship, I drop into that yellow orb, like everyone else, then hit it really hard so that I go all the way up to the ceiling above the skull here. Which means that when I flip upside down as the mini ship, I'm either at the ceiling or just below it. And then I tap 3, usually 3 even times, and then hold to get into the next part. Which, like, even light taps on this mini ship will get you over the spikes that are at the top, and usually not run you into the skull, which is otherwise pretty hard to avoid. that. The rest is self-explanatory in this part. Oh, I guess you have to hit it late. Hit the yellow orb late, or else you run into a saw blade. That part is auto, you can just tap once. Nazgoob's part is entirely timing, nothing else. And that's where I always pause on the real level too. I pause there because I have to, the timing gets off, if not. So, Rustum's part, really good core deco, doesn't really fit with the rest of the level, still looks pretty good. Nazgoob's part is pretty minimalistic, which counteracts the core there. But gameplay is fairly good in both parts. Rustum's is a lot worse than Nazgoob's. Nazgoob's is just timing. I also like timing, so that's fine. Now is when the real hard parts of the level start. With Xanthic next, which for a long time I considered was the hardest part of the level. So I have no clue what happens in these duels. All I know is you want to tap fairly evenly, like 4 even taps to get into the ship here. And the first tap you have to hold slightly longer than you would normally to survive the wave on the top. Then you tap the green orb right at the end of the ship, which brings you here. Then you have to lightly tap to get into that ship, believe it or not, because if you tap too hard, the bottom large robot will come up and hit the dual portal and override the small one and instantly kill you on this block right here. So you have to lightly tap to get into that part. And then you end up down there. It's a ship part, most people can do it. I always tap twice there and then hold once in the to get under the saw blade. Other people can straight fly much better than me, so they can do it in different ways. That spam part is really annoying. I have no clue how I didn't die there. There's a way that you end up right behind a spike and then you just instantly die. It's not fun, even though you did it right. That did not happen that many times to me trying to beat the level, but it happened all kinds practicing the level. So right here, you want to drop way down and then do 4 even taps to get past this set of spikes. Sometimes you'll land on it. I don't have the reaction time to land right on the end, past the spike. I don't have the reaction time to fix that and survive the next part with that, unfortunately. Like, oh. Alright, so I guess 1 tap and then 3 even taps. That's really what I meant. That's what I did in the level. Then you want to fall down to right about where the arrows are and then do 2 quick taps. Like that, and then 1 more tap to get you into Viprin's part. I really, really love the deco in Xanthic's part. I really hate the gameplay. The gameplay is really broken. But the deco uses a lot of the 2.0 blocks, like the kind of treadmill-looking arrows, and a lot of other arrows. It uses 3 different colors of arrows overlapped. It's slightly different sizes for a really nice effect. I love the color scheme. I love the blocks used. I love the deco in that part. Viprin's part is also fairly good. It uses most of the 2.1 stuff. It's a memory ball. There's plenty of guides on how to do this one. It's kind of a mess. There's a lot of inconsistent parts in it. Not that fun. Where am I? Oh, there. Wait. I'm so confused. There we go. Yeah, Viprin's part sucks. But it is the only thing that does actually define a Sonic level, is the Viprin, I'm always pronouncing it wrong. It's Viprin, isn't it? It's the Viprin memory balls that define it. So you noticed in one part of that duel, most of the duel is self-explanatory, where I only had to tap twice because I could have gone to the top as the Minikube and held and then jumped again. I always tap 3 times there. It's much harder to do it with 2 in my mind for some reason. And then, actually, I am gonna explain this a bit more. There, on that orb right after the slow speed, or right on the slow speed portal, you have to hit that as early as possible or the cube won't make it over, because the cube's path is defined exactly, unlike the robots. Then you want to jump in right towards that green orb, not too high or too low. There's the triple tap, and then right after that, when it goes into the spider, I hold really long there, because you have to make sure that the spider's on the bottom again. Then here, that's a small tap to get the robot up and switch the spider, and then another one to switch the spider, get the robot up, and a third tap here. There are H blocks on these blocks, so you can't die there as the robot. Goddamn. Oh, this is one of the weird things I do. I only tap twice here to go up over that ramp, up over this ramp, and then way up here, because you can make that in one shot pretty easily, instead of tapping a few more times to get into that. So I just go way up here and then down into the large portal. And then there's a bunch of D blocks. Basically, if you hit the slow speed portal, you survived. Here you want to hit the exact center of the first red and green orb, then hit this red orb ASAP, then hit the middle of this black orb, and then hit the last black orb ASAP, as well as the hidden yellow orb at the end of this part. This part, haha, I had fun with that, didn't I? So Pan's part is actually my favorite because it's just a good mix of good deco and good good gameplay. So I prefer it. It's my favorite actually. Evasium's, it's interesting because it's much lighter colored block design than normal in levels like past, like 1.9. But I enjoy it. Usually, literally up until tonight, I didn't die in Evasium's part very much at all, and it was one of the most fun parts to learn for me, especially since the ship, which is kind of the only like real straight fly in this level, still isn't really a straight fly. I'll explain that when I get to it. So the first red orb, right as you enter Evasium's part, you need to hit kind of late, or you run into some spikes. Where am I? Yep. It's actually quite an exact timing, even though you can't really tell. And then the dash orb, the next few timings don't really need that much explaining. It's just the last one that you can hit instantly. That last purple orb, you want to make sure that you're on the like left side of it, like the lower left or the mid left side of it, or else you die. I still don't know how to make it so that you do that, so that's really my problem and why I died at 72 all the time. Here, 2 quick taps to get you up to this portal, and then you have to hit a bit late when there's a invisible speed change to get between this spike and that gear. Like that. Then it flips you. You come underneath this spike. I died here once as well. Then do 2, I believe, more taps right at the red arrows. and then 3 taps on the downward, 3 or 4, can't even remember now. I'll do it instinctively to get into the ship. It's 3. Then right as I enter the ship, I guess this is also up for decisions on whether or not you do this. Right as you get into the ship, I always like hold just a little bit, and then it brings me up so that I can drop into the next portal. Like that. Then I do 2 taps there. 2 taps there. Then 1 tap as I hit the next blue portal. Which makes me fall into the next portal naturally. The last upside down portal, which I kind of straight fly with 2 more taps into the robot. The robot is 4 quick, light taps. Oh, I did that one differently than I always do. Huh. I do this with 2 taps, 2 taps, 2 taps, 2 taps. And that sometimes happens. 2 taps, 2 taps, 2 taps, quickly, and then you need to enter the next part, Etzer's part, going downwards in order to do it right. Etzer's part is really weird. It switches wildly between deco styles. It has some cool effects, but the gameplay just switches up constantly, as does the deco. There's no consistency in it. Everything done is done well, but it just feels weird. God damn. You have to tap that orb really late. That's auto. And here is something very interesting that I found you can do that I also didn't do in the level. Oh, come on. There's a D block there. If you tap right as you switch from the wave to a cube, you can do that. Alright, the next few jumps are self-explanatory anyway. Once you get to this ship part, you literally have to hold as you get off the platform. And then basically just a straight fly through the actual rotating circles will get you out of it. This one, tap 3 times at the beginning, wait 1. Once you get to this upside down one, you tap again. Don't tap as you get to that. Then tap once you get to this upside down one. Then tap twice more, right side up. And then finally 1 more tap to get you into the cube portal at the end. Like so. Then tap as soon as you become a cube. And then that ends Etzer's part. And you enter the hardest part of the entire level, which is beginning of Terran's. Just 1 tap right in the ship, and then you enter Terran's properly. This is timed really well, and that's really the only way to get past it. It's do-do-do, I think. But it's pretty damn exact. Everything in here is timed well. Oh, come on. Alright, right here, though, instead of doing anything fancy, I come up just over the lip of this and really quickly switch off and on again, like just about as fast as I can, then come up here somewhere and drop into the UFO portal. And that's, I got actually so that I beat Terran's wave like 1 out of every 2 tries from starting before it, so I had a pretty good chance of fluking it, and it is one of the hardest parts of the level. Several people have died there. There, like that. I have no clue what just happened. Pretend that didn't happen. You tap slightly after you enter the UFO. If you tap too early, there's a spike on the top that kills you. And then you tap once again once you become upside down, and then hit the green orb to become the cube. 2 easy jumps. You want to hit that black orb as soon as possible, or else you drop too low and die on that spike, which would be extremely unfortunate this late in the level. Then, as that ball, once again, these 2 orbs tap as fast as possible, because you actually want to bounce off the top this ramp right here, because that gives you consistency in how you enter the ship, because then you can also bounce off that ramp or just slightly straight fly through the end here, which I didn't do. Then, finally, if you hit just the top of the ramp when you become the cube right at the end and jump just as I did after you hit it, something weird happens. Which is, you don't end in the normal spot, which would show all of HyperSonic. You see all of Verified by Combined now, like that's more centered than actual HyperSonic, and you can see the bottom of the level, which is super hypey, which I believe I did when I beat it. Anyway, that's a walkthrough of the level, and my opinions on the parts as well. So, have fun trying to beat this. I recommend this to anyone who's beaten Supersonic because it is in the same series, and it's very fun. It is extremely fun. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 fun rating, which is rare for me, despite how many attempts and all of the difficult fails that I had on it at Evasium's part. It remained fun throughout the entire time, which is incredible. So good job to all the creators in Moonchat here. And I guess my last comments are to the list people that are checking this out. I have quite a few demons of mine uploaded. You can see that I have beat some pretty significant levels. Firewall was my hardest before this. And the attempts, especially the 13k old, should show that yes, I definitely put the effort in. I just didn't freaking hack this level or anything. I always have used the like dotted line background or trail for my cubes, and I have clicks as well. I'm on 60 hertz using spacebar, which is weird. It's because I'm a lefty. Don't judge. And hey, I finally did it. Yeet. I hope to God that you see this before HyperSonic gets knocked off. That way I can say that, like, I'm on the leaderboards. But, in my mind, I did complete a list demon. It's number 99 right now as I beat it. Hypey. Are you kidding me? That jump has killed me like 3 times now. And it's just nerves too. I can like always pass 57% when I'm just playing normally. Oh boy, that's gonna be hard. Ah, I didn't do it. Rip. Didn't think I was gonna make that one. Twice in 10 attempts. Alright, well that's 10 attempts. I'm gonna save this one just because it's interesting.